Hi, we're Mark and Jody Fred. We live here in Monticello. We've lived here about 5 years, and we've been coming to Monticello Christian Church for the last couple of years or so. And we are a blended family. We were married back in 2002, and between us we have 5 kids in the house. And those were the days.
And apparently 5 wasn't enough, so we ended up adopting a child that we prayed for, and miraculously came into our lives.
Yeah, we really wanted to have another kid, and we especially wished that we could have a son. And I prayed about it, and we continued to pray for several years. And then when I turned 40, I stopped praying. But God had His timing is different than our timing. So we were going to a church where some people who were guardians of William could no longer fulfill that role. And they asked the church family if there was anybody willing to take this child in.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Megan.
We were foster parents for about 1.5 years. Our foster journey started, I think, a little bit after we got married. We started calling around, just had a desire sparked in our heart, just because our love for kids, but also we didn't know, maybe we're not going to be able to get pregnant, maybe we'll have difficulties, we didn't know, but we thought maybe, I don't know, based on our faith, God might want us to adopt. We didn't know if that would be in our future or not, and so we thought we might as well get licensed now and then just see what happens. So Megan started calling around.
Yep, we started calling just like a year after we were married, and they suggested we were married longer for a couple years before we started. They knew how tough it would be on us and on our marriage. We thought they were ridiculous, but decided to have our own in the meantime, and then picked it back up after Elena was about 1.5 years.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Amy, and we've been in this area for about 12 years, and we live in Bemet. And about 4 years ago, we started our foster care journey. We thought about having another baby, we thought about adopting, and then I kind of wound up on the DCFS website and saw this little girl on there that was free for adoption, and thought, I think this is where we're supposed to be.
Jody prayed a lot that we somehow would have some other children. That wasn't physically possible, but through prayer anything's possible, of course. And
Yeah, I prayed for 4 years, and then I turned 40 and stopped praying. But God's timing is perfect, and so William came to live with us in 2008, and I think I was 44 then.
yeah, the way that William came to live with us is basically he's a boy who needed a home, and some people in the church who are quite a bit older than us were his guardian, and they became his guardian because their daughter could not take care of William when he was born. So we said, yes, this is the answer to our prayer.
And we just knew that William was our son. I mean, I had dreamed about him and helped take care of him ever since he was born. So I knew this baby, and they brought him over to our house, and we just felt like that was God answering our prayer.
When we first had our first placement, we realized that one of the biggest parts of foster care is brokenness. You hear a lot about the broken system of foster care, and we experienced a lot of that. They experienced the brokenness of families, the broken hearts, just the broken reasoning, thought process, and the list goes on, so much brokenness. And we began to realize that as much as we tried to hold the pieces together, that only God could bring the true healing. And realizing how important it is for Christians to fill that role, because we as people just can't do it ourselves.
It's amazing to watch a child begin to flourish, to watch the fear go away, to watch the safety of knowing that they're going to be safe at night, what that does to a child, to watch them begin to not just be this character that they've created in their, safety mode, but instead to be the real them. And they can only experience that when they have a solid foundation, when they have ample love that's consistent love, and when they have the safety of a home.
I think our faith really influenced our decision to foster, because we started this process almost 4 years ago, and we didn't attempt to become licensed until almost 1 year ago. So we kept putting it off and realized that there really wasn't a perfect time to do it, that you're always going to have excuses, and the kids always need you.
For 8 months, we had a 10-year-old, and some spots of it was challenging, but there was a lot of rewards through it. I actually remember getting the call and talking to Amy, and we discussed it and decided to try it. And with having a daughter of our own that was 9, and the only problem we ran into was them fighting a little bit, being the same age, but other than that, our daughter loved her like a sister, and wouldn't you say so?
I will say it's interesting to see how the children change as they come into your home, and then when they leave, it's the progress that they make socially, and it's really a good thing.
It took a lot of perseverance, and I remember that day so well, and we were just so happy when the judge's gavel went down, and he told us, "Well done," and it was just so humbling because we felt like God had blessed us with this child, and
That we prayed for.
yeah, and I just would like to imagine the day when you have God there saying, "Well done." And so we hope we're continuing to be faithful raising William, and he's just such a blessing.
He's an amazing kid. He's the joy for the whole family, without a doubt. And anybody here in church who's met him, I'm sure, would agree that William's just a fun, amazing child who has a huge heart.
Yeah, and he has a heart for God too. So I just want to encourage you to think about your life and how enriched it could be by simply taking in a child who needs a family, needs a home, and God's just waiting for you to open your door.
It's hard because it was one of the hardest things that we've ever done.
Yeah, we didn't know how to parent a 2-year-old yet, and we're starting to parent a 10-year-old. And so we hadn't had that time to learn how to deal with the differences in ages. So,
But through it, our marriage got stronger as we had to team together. Through some experiences that ended poorly, God just gave us unbelievable peace. And no one else could understand that except for other people that have experienced that peace.
I'm excited to see just how our relationship with our foster daughter will progress, but it's been so exciting to continue to have a relationship with her even now that she's in her forever home. So that's very exciting for us.
There's a quote that I like that says, it's not a good time for me, but then God said, it's not a good time for this child. So, you know, I always think about that when we get calls. You know, it's like, well, I have lots of things going on, I have all these plans, but, you know, somebody out there needs you to do this.